Are we going?
We're rolling.
We are. So we're going to import our footage and we're going to file. It's similar to Premiere if you use that in terms of its import and the way it imports.
You're in QuickTime.
Nope, I'm in QuickTime. Thank you, Brad. So you're going to go to File, Import, File. Does everyone see that? And then it'll bring up this window where you're going to find your dancing video. So mine, in this case, will do... Which one is hers?
It's the image.
Oh, God. All right. Open. Cool. So you'll notice that this is where the footage has been placed in After Effects. Right? This doesn't mean you've made like a composition. So a composition is where you make all the work for the project.
Magic.
The magic happens in the composition. So I could go down here to this little button, or I could do File, New. Maybe not.
Composition.
Composition. I could do this. There's so many different ways to do it. I think this way is nice. It's a little button here. Click that. So there's also two other ways to make a composition. You can make it by yourself, straight up, a new composition based on nothing else, and then you could make it. But you don't know what the frame rate of this is. You don't know what the dimensions of this is. You don't know how many frames or how long it is. So what I find to be easiest is you go here and you do new comp from selection. And there it makes a composition for me and makes it the same attributes as the video. So it's just like how in Premiere you make a sequence, or you can make a sequence from a clip if you've used that before. So it'll have the exact same settings, which is very nice.
Nick, stop once you get, because some people don't have footage yet. So
Okay.
So if you guys have footage and you know what to do, you can make your compositions. But some people are still waiting, so we're gonna try and let everybody get caught up. So I think we're getting there. Who on this side needed footage?
Those one.
Anyone?
example.
Okay.
The first thing.
Okay. Nick, do you have
Yeah.
do you have stuff on your flash drive?
I do.
For them to mess with?
Yeah, I do. But that has this is on. I don't like that name.
So what'd you just do there, Nick?
So there I replaced, just like in Premiere, where you don't actually have the footage in your project, it just shows the program where it is. I had that footage set to my flash drive, but now that I'm taking my flash drive out, it's not going to know where the footage is. But because I had it on the desktop, I moved it to look at the desktop. So now it knows that the footage is on the desktop, and I can take out my flash drive, I think. Nope, because I saved it there.
Are you working off of external media?
I know. Okay. So now we should be good to eject this.
Do you have the
I have most of it.
you want to just give it this way? Where's the silver flash drive? Oh, okay.
I guess I have all the videos now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do.
Got the beach ball. Oh.
Don't you love your students, Brad?
I do actually. No sarcasm.
No sarcasm.
Actually,
What?
briefly,
Um,
No,
doesn't
yeah,
matter
just
for my
delete them.
computer,
Put them
but
on, like, a folder.
everyone else's it does.
For purposes of saving.
Whoa.
I don't even think this is loaded. This is gonna play.
I did my mind. I'll leave you later. You quit and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just not.
When you eject it, it's gonna take them all out because you import them directly from the flash drive, so you can use them to the desktop.
Have you tried turning it off and on?
I'm attempting.
So, I mean, that is a common fix, is booting it back up.
It's almost like
Force
it's-
quit it.
Wait, did you already crash it?
Kill it.
Yeah,
We did.
I know.
We need the flash drive.
Okay.
No, that's my only flash.
Oh, you
Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
So now that it's dead,
You guys have
we're gonna force it back open.
Slower.
So if it
We'll get to you
keeps
before next
crashing, let's have to close out QuickTime. Because it's probably what's heating up.
I think it is.
Yes, resources. Let's see if it works. It might.
Oh, we get to hear the audio too.
She did.
It's just me giggling.
Somehow, guess the right one.
Yes.
Sure.
You do it with the hands front.
Yeah.
That's good. And just before you put them into After Effects, make sure you.
Oh, what are those lines?
You look like interlaced.
I think it's the projector.
No, I said just like get on my.
It's got a big projector.
Does anybody else need footage? No? Anyone?
I don't think we are good. Alright, we're good.
Yay!
Alright, everyone has footage.
Is it
Yay!
imported?
Did everyone import footage into After Effects? Not yet. Okay, cool.
Alright.
That's fine.
So once Nick gets going on this, we're gonna try and go quickly. So if you have questions, just raise your hand. Me and
Or-
Kyle will bounce around and
or
try to
yell.
help you. If everyone's
Yelling
like
would
falling
be-
apart, we'll hold Nick up for a second and let everyone get caught up to speed.
Yeah, After Effects is kind of complex if you haven't opened it before, so don't feel bad for having any questions. Because I still have questions.
I feel bad.
Are you gonna do paint or pen first, Nick?
I'm probably gonna do pen.
Yeah.
Ken's less frustrating.
Yeah. Although I have to go frame by frame to figure out the. Well, I could, but I won't. I want to track her hand. Okay.
You do it in like 3 frames.
Yeah, just do like a portion
Just do
of
it
it
in
down
3
below.
days.
Okay, everyone's good? Alright, so there's 2 ways we can do what we saw in that video,
At least.
and they use at least 2 ways. So the first way we're gonna do uses the pen tool. And what we're gonna do basically is make a path with the pen. So we're gonna draw, make some points. The computer's gonna make it so that those points connect. And then we're going to give that path a line. And then we're gonna tell the computer when to show us that line, basically. Does that make sense? Okay. So, what you're gonna wanna do is right click in here, anywhere in here, go to new, and then you're gonna want solid. You can name it whatever you want. I think the default is just black. And then hit make comp size just in case, just to make sure it's the same exact size.
Just really jam it.
It's frustrating if it's not the comp size. So then hit OK, and there's this big black square rectangle.
Yeah,
That's not fair. Ah!
Oh, hey, guys.
Hi!
Whoa.
We've been evicted.
So then,
Oh, you're trying to get multiple of them on?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can drag it right down, or you do command drag it.
Are they calling it surfer?
Well, you
Or
know.
surfer solid
Alright, looks like pretty much everyone has their solids down.
Alright.
Okay.
Cool. So
Can't figure it out. Where?
how did I do this before? So then you're gonna go. Hold on 1 second.
So everyone has their solids. Doesn't really matter what color they are as long as they're filling up your frame. From what I can see right now, everyone looks good. What are you waiting on
I'm just making sure that.
there?
I'm making sure I'm doing it right.
We're on the path now.
Oh god.
Just draw a path. Okay.
Okay.
Like a tutorial.
I'm just. You know what?
Glad I found that.
I can tell you what to do. Keep going.
All right.
Does everyone see the pen tool on their toolbar? Should be on the top. Looks like a little like quilling.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. All right. So I just unplugged my keyboard. This is going great.
No excuses.
All right. So, and all right, you don't have a mouse. Cool. So we're gonna see this little eyeball. Everyone see that in the corner by the frame or second counter in the bottom left. So unclick the eyeball on the black solid so that you see this lovely video. And then what you want to do, so don't do what I'm doing. Okay. Now what you want to do is go to that pen tool I was talking about. It's up in the toolbar at the top left. It's right next to the text and the rectangle or shape. Oh, it's
Make sure
rectangle.
the hotkey is.
The hotkey is G.
For pen.
G. Yeah, G for pen, because that makes sense.
For calligraphic
Yeah.
pen.
So, what do I want to do? I want to follow. I want to follow her. I want to follow her hand right here. So it's almost like there's a glowing line coming out of her hand.
How are you navigating those frames?
I am using Command and then the arrow keys left and right to go forward and back. So
you're not gonna wanna be scrubbing the playhead on this, so you should get acquainted with those hotkeys because it's gonna make things go much quicker.
Alright, so I'm gonna zoom in. It's this little percentage in the bottom left of this big window. I'm gonna go to I didn't mean to do that. We'll go 200%. And then, so to move it over, there's the hand tool, and that hotkey is H. So if you use the hand tool, you can click and drag all over the place, and it's not gonna do anything. It's just showing you the workspace.
You also hold spacebar from any tool.
Oh. Well, that would have been helpful to know an hour ago. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna make. You guys can do whatever you want on whatever video, but I'm gonna make a point from this pen right here on her hand.
It'd probably be a good idea to find like a 1 or 2 second section that you wanna do it instead of like going just off. But if do whatever you want.
So, if I wanted this to be as precise as that Disney video where that guy was drawing the really poorly drawn Mickey Mouse ears, I would go every single frame, every single one, and create a new. I would go to the next frame, take my pen, and do a new one, and then I'd go and make a new one, and I'd go make a new one. But I don't want to do that because that's a lot of work. So what I'm gonna do instead is go every 3 frames, and I'm gonna put a point wherever her hand is. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Her hand's now here. And I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Hand's now here. 1, 2, 3. Hands here. 1, 2, 3. Here. 1, 2, 3. Her hand back down here. Uh-oh. So what I did here is I accidentally made a new mask. So what we're doing with this path, I called it a path. It's technically called a mask. Because they're different colors, or that's how it delineates them, there's 2 different masks. I don't want that because then I won't be able to control the whole thing. So I'm going to hit Command Z for undo, and then I get back to this one. To get back to this one, you can just click on any of these squares, preferably your last one. So there, I made a new point, and I go 1, 2, 3. Right here.
Right in the
good.
motion blur.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Our hand is all the way up here. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, her hand is gone. So I'm gonna hold spacebar.
Give me 1 second. So Nick,
Click
before
and
when you
drag.
got out of that path,
Yeah.
how did you get back into it?
I undid that path and then I clicked back in the same path that I was drawing at the beginning.
Yeah.
With the pencil.
So and then it's kind of strange. Yeah, you should be able to click off. Yeah. Okay. So you need to make sure that like the last one is solid. Yeah. So After Effects is a lot more annoying with their path tool than some of the other Adobe programs you might have used. So try your hardest to not like get out of it while you're in the middle of making the path, because it can be a little annoying.
So then her hand's up here. And then 1, 2, 3. Her hand is now some weird shape up here. 1, 2, 3. There's her hand. 1, 2, 3. There's her hand again. There's her hand again. 1, 2, 3. I think that's the right hand that we're looking for. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3. This one. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3.
Anyone completely lost? Oh yeah, here. Anyone else see the pen?
Oh my goodness.
Wow, she's really going all over the place. I don't know what
She's not, I mean, you can tell she's not a very coordinated dancer. I'm allowed to say that.
Are you?
Yeah.
legally.
I hope she sues you for libel.
You know what? 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Looks like she lost a finger here.
I think we get the idea next.
All right. So basically you just keep doing that for as long as you want. I'm not gonna do the whole thing because we'd be here for like 2 hours. And I don't know if any of you want that, but I certainly don't. So now we've got this nice little squiggle going. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add an effect. We're gonna add that line width to that path. Everyone with me?
Yeah.
Yes?
Let's
Okay,
say it
cool.
again, just in case
I'm
people
gonna
didn't hear.
add the line width to the path so we can make a shape. So you're gonna go over to the right side of the screen and it's gonna say effects and presets. Click in that little search bar and type in stroke. And then you're gonna want the one that says, it just says stroke and it's under generate, the little generate folder. And then what you're gonna do, there's two ways you can do it. You can either double click it or you can like drag it over to there. Everyone got that?
So it's going onto the solid layer. Solid layer.
Yes.
That you drew the path on.
Yeah. So it's going on that black solid layer that you just drew it on, as Brad just reminded me of.
No.
Oh my god.
It's networking time, kids.
Alright.
Got that
So-
6.
Did everyone get the effect on the path? Hi, Lilac. Hi.
Where's Lila?
Okay. Is anyone lost? No? Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna do is go down here to or up here to effects. This screen right here, all the way up here in the top left, is the exact same as this down here. So it's really up to you wherever you want to use it. I like to do it up here because it feels more tidy. So you got to make sure you're on that black solid one, and then up here it'll say Effect Controls. You might have to click this drop down to find it, but it'll say Effect Controls black solid one. Everyone got that? Okay, cool. So then let's pick the color of what we want her to be whipping around. I don't know. I like orange. So I'm gonna pick I'm also colorblind, so it might not be orange.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
orange,
that's right.
Nick?
That's orange? Okay,
Yeah,
cool. I like orange.
Do pink match the name.
And then you're going to So the other very important thing what you have to do next is on this thing that says paint style in these settings, click that drop down and do on transparent. It's the second one down. Everyone got that?
Which one?
It's paint style. It's the last option and you gotta do on transparent. This is very important or else we're not gonna see what we just did. Alright, once you have that, you can show that little eyeball with the black solid, and then once we start making it a shape, we'll be able to see it. So, I'm gonna make the size of it pretty large, so you can already see it's starting. And then what I did is, what does anyone see the problem that we have right now?
I see a lot of
Yeah. So it's all on the screen. Well, first of all, it looks disgusting. It's got a bunch of angles to it, and that's gross, and we don't want that. So what we're gonna do, go back up to that handy dandy pen tool and hold it down, and you're gonna get this little drop down menu. Keep holding it down, and you're gonna get Convert Vertex Tool. It looks like a upside down V, or an arrow that's not filled in. And then you're gonna release on that, and so now I have this handy dandy thing that when I click on these lines, look at that, they're all curvy. Now they're probably not gonna. No, they'll be fine.
Close enough.
Everyone got that? Is everyone's lines not angly? Anymore? Yes? Okay, cool. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to make it so that the line follows her hand and isn't there the whole time. And we're going to start by Yeah,
Just
all of the
All the angles.
all of the ankle. Oh, sorry. You have to go to. So go to masks here.
Uh-huh.
Click mask 1, and then it should highlight all the points.
Okay.
And then you can go to that arrow thing and click just one of the points, and it should do all of them.
I always mess up everything. Like I will start over. Like how do you make a layer again?
Oh, okay.
And there, and
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be so bad that we're all using it. Probably. But it's fine, yeah.
all right. So I'm gonna go. This next part is a little bit complicated, but if you just stick with me, it'll be worth it.
We're gonna stick with it.
All right.
Don't worry.
So go down to your timeline down here, and you're gonna go to effects, which is the same thing as up here, but you'll see in a minute why we need to see the timeline. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit because I want to see start and end. So you want to see these little prompts that say start and end down here. Start should be at 0 and end should be at 100 right now. What you want to do is make a keyframe. Does anyone know what a keyframe is?
No.
You want to explain it?
You don't want to
That's not answering my question.
We're discussing key.
Ethan, do you want to explain what a keyframe is?
It's the key frame. It's the
Oh,
most.
thank you.
It's an important frame. So it's kind of like the spot where values change. So if you go out a second and we put a keyframe, and your position is at 100 before the keyframe, and then the keyframe is 50, between 0 and a second, the computer will slowly take it down to 50. So you can keyframe a lot of things. In this case, are you doing the...
Start and the end.
Yeah, so in this case, you're keyframing the amount of start and amount of end, which sounds kind of weird, but a lot of lines in like After Effects can be defined by their start and their end properties. So if you imagine I have like a...
I might just show it.
Yeah, that
You want
would
to show
All
it?
right, yeah.
We
So,
have
so
a pretty good visual tool, right?
So what I'm gonna do is you see this little stopwatch button at start and end. I'm gonna click those and it should turn blue and then have a hand on it, like a clock hand. So then all of a sudden, what are these? These are diamonds. No, they're keyframes.
What are those?
What are those? So basically right now, what this keyframe is saying is that the start and the end values, which are both at 0 and 100, are going to stay that way for the whole thing. However, if I decide, hey, I want start at this point to be, I don't know,
Ooh.
72, it put another keyframe there. This keyframe means that at this point, it will be 72% for the start. So the computer says, I'm going to figure out how to go from 0 to 72 in that time. So then you don't have to do all the work frame by frame, and you just hit spacebar, and it does it for you. That's what a keyframe is. But that's not how we want to do it. So I'm going to delete that. And at this point, what you're going to want to do, at 0 frames, so the very, very start of your video, make sure you have these two stopwatches blue and put both of them to 0. You can either click it and type in a number, or you can like grab it and drag your value out. Okay.
You got it? You good?
Is he out of breath? What? Good.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
All right. So what I'm gonna do next
I'm here to make that.
is make it so the line is following her hand. The one thing we don't want to do, like the Disney one, is have it go to we don't want it to stay like this the whole time. We want it to, after she moves her hand for a little bit, it to disappear. So, what we're gonna do is change the start and the end together. So we're gonna go 3 frames ahead. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna make the start and the end a little bit. Not that much though. We're gonna do like 0.5. That's perfect. That's what we want.
Everyone's is gonna be different.
Everyone's is gonna be different, but I would change it incrementally, very small, by decimals, if they're not like doing huge motions. So, then I'm gonna go 3 more frames, or actually, never mind. I'm gonna put another keyframe
So when it's
here for 0, because in 3 frames, oh, I don't want that. In 3 frames, I don't want the computer to think I'm changing the end from 0 to, let's say it's 2%, over this time period. I only want it to do it over this time period.
So you want to make sure that
So, now we're going to make a little bit more. So we're following this one right here, this little point. So we want to change the start to go to, let's say 1. Let's make that like 1.2. Great. And then, I don't know, I like the length of this line. I think that's what I want. Maybe a little bit longer, but we'll figure that out later. So I'm going to keep the end at 0. I'm going to do another keyframe of 0. And to make one that without changing it, you just hit this little diamond to the left. All the way at the bottom. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Cool. Then I'm going to change the start. I'm going to guess 1.8. Yay. And then what I'm going to do is make the end, not that much, by a little bit. So that will cut off from the end here, which means we won't have the whole thing stay as she's moving, if that makes sense. Is anyone confused? Please don't feel afraid to tell me I'm dumb.
you're done.
You're
Yeah,
confused?
Nick, you're
Okay.
dumb.
What are you confused
I
on?
missed the beginning of the part where you started doing the keyframes.
Okay. Yeah, I can. So basically, you're gonna want to do it down here in the timeline, so that you can see these diamonds as it goes forward. Because up here you won't be able to see them.
How do you get the stroke?
So this is that mask. This effect. You mean?
Oh, you picked the effect.
Yeah. So you grab the effect stroke from effects and presets all the way to the right. Put that on that black solid one. And then you're probably gonna wanna make your brush size a little bigger. Alright. So we're gonna go back to keyframing. Is anyone else confused? Okay, what part can you help with?
I don't know.
Okay, no, it's fine.
We're wrapping up, so
Okay.
people are welcome to keep on working on these. Do you have
Can you
anything?
just do a summary of this is everything you do quickly and then here's another one?
So,
Maybe wait, project you already did.
oh yeah, I have that. Alright, so basically you would keep doing this whole thing forever. Because that's how long it takes. And then,
You unplugged your hard drive.
I did. Does anyone have my flash drive? It's on my neck. I lied. It's on my neck. False alarm.
So basically what it's saying is your angles here is not 100%. You have like 50% angles, that's 50% of the way.
All right. So if you were to keep doing this, this is what it would look like for the keyframe. So I did every frame so that I could follow the tip of that broom he's holding and make whatever shape that is.
How'd you get the glow on there?
Good question.
It really relies on
I just did it random. Basically, just start as the same deal. Here it's saying the end is 80%.
What?
Trimming it. Start 20%. So you must Oh, okay, yeah, go for it.
So I did the basic stuff, so now I'm showing them.
Too confusing.
So you guys can keep working on it, but this is just what the final product looks like. These are all the keyframes I did, and I just kept going. So if you want to do something like,
So he only did the end keyframe because he wanted to keep the shape on the whole time.
yeah,
So if you wanted to start like inchworming in on itself, then you do both start and end, but
Mhm.
you might only have to do one of them.
Did everyone hear that?
Come back.
Okay, so that's that. You want to put an effect? Like I put what is this one called?
Isolation mode.
Oh, yeah.
I put a radial fast blur on this to make it look like it's glowing. So you can go into your effects and just type blur. So I'll delete this one. That's what it looks like without the blur on it.
So,
I'm gonna go to fast blur, and I'm gonna grab CC radial fast blur, drop that on that line, and then I get all these things. And I don't want to necessarily keyframe those. So then you just change what you want.
You show the glow.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a process to do an but hopefully you guys have these saved onto portable media, and you can bring them around with you. I don't know if it looks like anyone's finished anything.
No. So one other effect you can add that's really nice is glow. So you just go up there, search glow, found glow, drop it on that solid line, and now all of a sudden it looks neon. So you can go in here to glow and change all these properties.
So right now,
You can change how wide it goes. You can change the intensity.
Yeah, I really went for it. I'm finishing this for Leanne.
So
Yeah.
what I could do
But the other one was paint.
I don't really understand how to get it to like track, but also disappear.
So, do you understand?
Whoa, why is yours actually so good? Wait, I need to back it outside.
So I made the end percent 20. Start at the same way. Start at 100%. Start if the rate starts to say like 80, it's bringing it to 80.
More the docs that we saw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So starting there, then N zero. So
So it's 8:30. So if you guys want to head out, you can. I'm just gonna do a quick like intro on how to do the other method if you want. Yeah.
do you know where?
I kind of started again.
Oh, okay. If you
Well, you can. I'll show you what scoop.
Stop.
Yeah, you wanna actually.
I'm not
So
gonna do
if
that.
you see that stroke.
Yo. Whoa, what'd you just say, Nick? That sounded super important.
Oh, thanks, Rebecca.
Super important.
So
Big alert.
So guys, everyone, if you want to finish it, you can post it to Slack once you're done. We can all share them and it'll look great.
The end is 70.
We encourage you to do that. I'll do it with this other one that I have of John. But also since it's 8:30, feel free to leave. But I will show. I know. I will show another way to do it in like 5 seconds. It's
Do it
very
in
quick.
5 seconds. Okay. So this is another way to go about, and in After Effects,
And then if
he said there's 2 ways. There's probably 200 ways, but
Yeah.
if you don't, so you can
there are usually multiple different approaches to any creative problem in After Effects.
Why did I quit out of
That's fine, you know. It's a nice splash screen.
It is.
tighter.
not like the new terrible one.
It's awful.
Like if there's a tighter stagger, that'll make the line shorter, basically.
Yeah, so see
All right.
back to back. It's gonna clearly
So
and then it's gonna
instead of the other ones, I had something like this.
So you can really
Paying
play around
attention, that's fine.
get some different effects.
You're
Yeah, at least Jen's paying attention.
Yeah,
So,
I missed it.
How do we do that?
It's gonna look starting in
Bye.
Bye, Tanner. Want to say bye, Tanner?
Bye,
Bye,
Tanner.
Tanner.
All right. So everyone see this ring that I drew around John's leg, and then it goes up to his
Put it
arm.
into his pocket or up his shirt.
I was gonna do his whole body outline, but we can do that now.
Not having
All right. You can shush.
Oh, yeah.
You can just watch like the 3 of us both do it for a good like 4 minutes before it.
He was like, I can do it better.
He was like, oh, I'm trying one and I can do this better.
Yeah. All right. So how did I do that?
You guys made me.
Good question. Me. So I went to a frame, and then I.
He's going crazy during this demo.
I am. Thank you.
Tenuous grip. On
So
sanity.
what I just did, was I double clicked on that image, on the footage, and that'll give me a separate window up here called layer. So your layer is different from your composition. Your composition shows everything in all of these layers down here, and your layer only shows that one specific one that you've double clicked. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. So what I'm going to do now is draw the rest of this outline I was going to do of John. So I'm going to go to this brush tool. The shortcut is Command B, and it looks like a paintbrush. It's right next to something that looks like a stamp and right next to the text. So click on that. And what you're going to want to make sure is over here under Paint that you're on single frame. And you want to be on single frame because you don't want to draw something and see the same thing 10 frames later, because that's counterintuitive. So single frame, RGBA is fine, and then mode doesn't matter, but I would do normal. And then what you want to do is go down to brushes. And one thing I found that was very annoying that I couldn't figure out for a while was under size. Mine was set to pen pressure, so if I wasn't pressing really hard, it wasn't showing up. So I would just turn that off for now, and then set a diameter, so the size of your brush, to whatever you want. I'm going to do 6 because that looks good, I think. And then I'm going to go back in to John's hand, leg. And this was the last frame I just drew on. So I'm going to use that shortcut we learned, Command side arrow, to go to the next frame. You guys see that? I'm going forward and then it's gone. So I need to draw after this frame. So, and I want it to look like it's moving up his arm or growing up his arm. So what I'm going to do is remember that it kind of starts by his lanyard and ends up here by like the cuff of his shirt. So I'm going to go over here to the next frame and draw, terribly draw that. So now it'll look like it's growing. And so you just keep doing that for the rest of your life. Thank you, Kyle. So now I'm going to make it bigger so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go to the next frame. Remember, I started at the lanyard. Go all the way up. That's a good distance. Not really, but okay. Then we go to the next frame, which is nothing, and keep going.
Ad nauseum.
And then you do this until it's 3 in the morning,
Don't go too far.
and you say, oh no, I need to go to bed. So that was a huge jump. Now that's going to look weird. So I'm going to hit Command Z. It's going to undo my whole stroke, but only for that frame. So I'm going to look at, it goes like right above his elbow, somewhere here. So at this little fold in his shirt. So I'm going to go forward, frame.
It's
$100.
And I'm going to go right here.
well, I mean, it's not the original 10.
So then I see, look, it goes to his arm, up here.
Well, you can Photoshop.
Yeah.
Photoshop is the big.
So I'm thinking, I'm just trying to like conceptualize a way where I can use. No, because you're working in the layer. If you're working still, that's the only thing about brush tools you have to be working in the layer. If you're working on a composition, but probably use.
All right,
an
so
echo
Yeah,
to-
so you're saying you could use an echo thing instead of like one. Use
Yeah,
that
it's usually good to
instead.
start.
But if you're in the layer bin, it's not going to show up.
Oh yeah.
Because all you're seeing is you're working directly over the stock footage. Or
All
the
you have
source.
to do is every time you make
Does everyone see that? If I was gonna keep going, I would do the rest of his body.
Doing a script.
I can try doing it real quick if you guys want to see the whole thing, but
Yeah,
That's gonna be pretty cool.
basically I'd do the rest of his outline.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Are you still done with this or?
No. Does anyone want me to keep going? I can.
Well, I have.
I can and will.
Can we watch you finish? Can we watch you
Just
start
do
till
the
3
last
a.m.?
No. I'll get kicked out of park before then.
No, we're all here.
Okay. Before we finish up, Jacob wanted to make a quick post some announcements.
Hey Jacob.
Everybody, hello, hi. I made this announcement to my class, obviously, but I'm hosting a screening where people can come and show their work. It could be films, it could be music, it could be performance, it could really be anything. But I assume a lot of people bring films, and you can show it to an audience and get criticism if you want. Or if you don't want criticism, you don't have to get criticism and order pizza. There's gonna be pizza there. I have these little flyers. You can save the dates. Not this Thursday, next Thursday at 7/138, and you can just bring your work and show it. There's not really a venue for that, I don't think, right now. So I think that'd be cool.
Can we take a picture of that and put it on Slack?
Yeah, I would love that. That would be
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
had to do it the one day.
Yeah, if anyone wants
Jacob.
one physical.
Where's 138?
Thank you.
That's the
Thanks, Jacob.
Thank you.
That's cool.